Guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante, Arsenal fall to defeat, Arsenal nil, Cologne 1, they win. And it's a bittersweet story. Yes, we lost, but we go through, and although we go through, we still lost. So let's crack on. Going into the game, we know there was going to be a whole host of changes. It looked like Wenger opted for experience. You saw in the preview, I spoke about doing a professional job, getting the job done, just simply getting over the line. We know we're more than likely to go through regardless, but we've been undefeated and them sort of things there. So let's just continue as a means to go on. By experience, I mean, he brought in Debussy, saw at the expense of, because obviously Chambers came into the side slightly more experienced than Nelson. Debussy was into the side. Ospina came into the side. There was calls for Macy. Welbs came back into the side, obviously, to get some minutes. Wilshere, he seems to be synonymous with the Europa League at the moment. So he played. Coquelin came in, El Nene was there. A very experienced side than he could have played. Obviously, Maitland-Niles stayed at left back, but enough with that. I'm pretty sure you know about the starting lineup if you don't already. So yeah, it's very much getting over the line, and this is probably the game where I have the least to say, people. I feel bad, man. Like, you guys know I try to come with the analysis and things like that. What more is there to say? Throughout the first half, we clearly had the lion's share of possession, around 70% or so, in my opinion, maybe even 80. We were going forward. Maitland-Niles, you even saw literally from the first minute, him and the Welbs were involved in a good opportunity. He was our best player offensively today, and that says a lot for our attacking players. Long story short, first half, there just wasn't any cutting edge in the final third. The positions where it mattered, the ball wasn't sticking with Giroud. Wilshere was picking passes, but it was breaking down. We didn't have enough width on a general basis. Obviously, we went there to be compact and things like that. And there's always going to be a lack of fluidity and rhythm when you make this many changes. But there was no real fluidity. There was no real, while we were in possession and stuff, we just weren't going up several gears enough to warrant scoring and making the difference. Like I said, final third, balls in behind of note weren't really happening. Giroud, arguably the worst out of all the front players. I have a lot of time for Giroud, but when he plays like this, he does make it hard to defend himself. That being said, Cologne, let's give credit, man. They were rigid. They were on it. It's their first European game at home with our big boys like us in a while. They were up for it. The fans were up for it. You have to give credit, man. Committed performance throughout the whole game, but the first half in particular, they were running. They were doing doggy runs, man. They were just following shadows, and they stayed rigid. Every player apart from probably Cordoba can leave that first half in regards to them with any credit, because I believe he's come back from injury, but he just really didn't get going, to be honest with you. So yeah, man. You see, even saw in the first half, Coquelin's hitting the post a couple of times, and he made a couple good passes. He made a lot of bad passes, but he made a couple of good passes there, man, on a majority basis in the first half. Look at what I'm saying. From your left back is your best player going forward, and I'm saying Coquelin's having the lion's share of the chances. What are the other attacking players doing, really? 20th minute, Wilshere had a header to no avail, but that's really where it's coming. Our real joy is coming down the left hand side with Maitland-Niles when Welbs is getting in behind. Welbs had a couple chances as well, but again, cutting edge. That's what makes the difference. That's what gets the goals. And ultimately in the first half, we didn't have enough. Cologne, we were making it easier with not playing passes in behind on a more consistent basis, because we know Cologne are going to sit banks of how many defenders, just remain rigid and build from there. At times we're being hit versus free, but the same could be said for Cologne, because at times it seemed like they didn't care for defending. But on a general basis, first half, we just ultimately didn't do enough. Maitland-Niles our brightest prospect again going forward, which says a lot. Debussy, for me, was poor today. He's diving in. You're an experienced player. How much time do you need to dive in and get caught before you realise, let's not do that? He kept diving in, ultimately giving a couple fouls away. Obviously, I think he got booked. He just weren't at it, man. His passes were a bit wayward. He made a couple interceptions and vital tackles, I'll be fair to a guy, but you're meant to be one of the most experienced players, and we know your Arsenal career is over and this is what it's become. But if you want any chance of playing Premier League and things like that, you need to put in better performances. And that could be said for Coquelin, El Nene, Jack, all the senior players, to be honest with you. The young players are not so bad, because obviously you're trying to gain consistency and all of them things. But long story short, first half, we're not doing enough. Only bright spot is 0-0, and on paper, we do our job, get that point to go through. Second half weren't any better. Yes, we started off a bit more brightly. People looked to finally wake up. Giroud was playing a bit better. You saw people start linking up and them things. By this time, Welbs has come off. Whether he's injured or it was pre-planned, we don't know. Personally, I think it was pre-planned. You couldn't have started Welbs, especially someone we have to be as cautious with Welbs. you couldn't have started him without planning to take him off. But on the other hand, we did rush him back the last time and he got injured. My thoughts are with Wells. I really hope he's not injured. But yeah, man, we have to see how that one goes. But we didn't look any better in the second half, if I'm honest with you. We were, yes, it was just more or less the same old story, the same old story. And then what happened in the 60th minute or so? Yeah, we had a couple chances before that. What happened in the 60th minute or so? Debussy concedes a penalty. Yes, it's stupid refereeing and it's never a penalty, and he does play for that. But what happens in the moments before that? We're caught. We're caught on a counter. I know it's bittersweet because we're through and stuff, but and it's not the strongest side we can put out there, and it's not by no means the side that will go out there on Sunday against Burnley. But these are the sort of things we had 70% possession. We didn't really have any clear cut chances, but obviously up until this point we had the majority of the chances. But now Cologne have a penalty and they have what matters, the 3 points at the moment. Yeah, because obviously I didn't even say it. Debussy concedes the pen, Thingy scores, their guy scores, their striker scores, and that's the end of that, innit? It's 1-0 to them. Pardon me, I got a sneeze, guys. Yeah, man, I got me ill. But yeah, they go ahead. It's 1-0 at this point, and you know how the script goes, man. They're defending rigidly. Again, we're 1-0 down, and we're still getting hit 3 versus 2. You know, you can't make this up. Yes, because when we're going forward to get a goal, you're gonna get hit, but you can't really make none of this stuff up, man. To be honest, I'll give Chambers a couple bits of credit, man. I don't necessarily feel he had a bad game or a good game, but a couple of times he's putting crosses in, as was Maitland-Niles when he finally could pick out a cross for the first time with his left foot. Where was Giroud? And when Giroud was there, I have to be fair to him. Where were the other people following up, especially in the dying embers? Reece Nelson could have followed up as well. He's a young player, so let's not be harsh. And he livened up things, and he was probably one of the better players on the pitch. So we'll give credit to players like that. But on a general basis, we didn't do enough collectively in the final third to warrant getting a draw from this game. Yes, it's bittersweet ultimately because what is it, man? Like, we're going through because of the other results were favoured to us. But on the basis of that, we lost, and we strive for greatness and excellence on a general basis in life and on football. We need to look at what we did wrong, and Cologne deserved their points. To be honest with you, yes, they were lucky with the penalty, but on the basis of things of how hard they worked, they deserve to get that luck. To be honest, it serves as a microcosm for Arsenal because it shows us our problems. All possession, all the possession, all the fluidity. Well, we didn't have fluidity, but you get the point. All the cute little touches, but ultimately, no goal and no 3 points. Like, it's bittersweet, like I said. Credit to Cologne because they deserve their 3 points. We move on to Burnley, and then obviously we got to play our final Europa League group game. But yeah, man, it's a bittersweet as well because we had a 100% record. Well, not 100% because we didn't take 3 points, but we didn't lose a game, and now we have. So yeah, man, there's not much more to be said on that. It's not the end of the world, but we can do a lot better. Guys, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. Arsenal 0, Cologne 1. Yeah, I'm out.